HMOs have become a cornerstone in the UK's private rented sector. Once a niche investment strategy, HMOs now attract attention for their ability to deliver higher rental yields and help address chronic housing shortages, especially in urban centres and university towns. But with growing regulatory scrutiny, rising compliance costs and evolving tenant expectations, the future of HMOs prompts a key question. Is this a golden opportunity or a regulatory minefield? What makes HMOs attractive to investors? Higher rental yields. One of the most compelling draws for landlords is the potential for increased rental returns. By letting individual rooms rather than one entire property, HMOs can generate significantly higher gross rental income compared to traditional buy-to-let houses. This yield advantage is especially attractive in areas with high property prices. Strong demand from tenants. Demand for affordable, flexible housing has surged in recent years. Students, young professionals and transient workers often prefer the cost savings and social environment of a HMO. In cities like Manchester, Birmingham and Leeds, well-located HMOs can enjoy high occupancy rates all year round. Diversification in your portfolio. For seasoned landlords, HMOs offer a diversification opportunity that can buffer against market fluctuations. The spread of rental income across multiple tenants can, in theory, reduce void periods and income volatility. Regulatory landscape. Increasing complexity. While the financial appeal of HMOs is clear, the regulatory environment is becoming more challenging. HMOs are subject to a layered system of national standards, local authority licensing and planning controls that vary by location and property size. Mandatory HMO licensing applies to properties occupied by 5 or more people from 2 or more households who share facilities. Landlords must meet strict conditions relating to the minimum room sizes, to the fire safety, involve ongoing compliance checks and carry significant penalties for non-compliance. There's also additional licensing. Beyond mandatory licensing, many councils operate additional licensing schemes which extend licensing requirements to smaller HMOs that would not otherwise be caught by national rules. For example, 3 or 4 person shared houses. These schemes are often introduced in areas where councils believe there is a high concentration of rented homes or poor property standards. For landlords, additional licensing increases both cost and complexity. Fees can be substantial, licence conditions may be more prospective, and schemes differ widely between local authorities. Investors must therefore carry out detailed due diligence before purchasing or converting a HMO, as licensing status can directly affect viability and also the profitability. Selective licensing and wider controls. Some councils also apply selective licensing, which can cover all privately rented properties within designated areas, not just HMOs. While designed to raise housing standards, selective licensing further increases fees, inspections and administrative oversight. Fire safety and building standards. Following heightened scrutiny of housing safety, fire risk management remains a critical obligation. Landlords must ensure compliant escape routes, fire doors, alarms, emergency lighting and up-to-date risk assessment, often requiring significant upfront investment. The Renters' Rights Act and the implications for HMOs. The Renters' Rights Act represents one of the most significant reforms to the private rented sector in decades, and its impact on HMOs could be substantial. Challenges on the horizon. Rising compliance costs. Adapting HMOs to meet evolving regulatory requirements can be expensive. Licensing fees, fire safety upgrades, minimum room size standards and energy efficiency improvements can all erode profitability, if not planned for up front. Skills and management intensity. Managing a HMO is materially different from running a single let property. Higher tenant turnover means more administration, maintenance and conflict resolution. Professional HMO management can mitigate these risks but adds to ongoing costs. Planning restrictions. Article 4 directions, which remove permitted development rights for HMO conversions in certain areas, continue to limit supply. This can protect existing HMOs from competition but restricts opportunities for new entrants. Opportunities ahead. Despite these challenges, HMOs still offer meaningful opportunities for well-prepared investors. Co-living and community models, these purpose-designed co-living schemes with higher quality amenities can command premium rents while aligning with local authority objectives around housing quality and community cohesion. Green retrofits. Energy efficiency upgrades can reduce running costs, improve EPC ratings and make properties more attractive to tenants. Grants and incentives may help offset the cost of the installation, the solar panels and low carbon heating. Technology-enabled management, so digital platforms for rent collection, maintenance reporting, compliance tracking and even communication can significantly reduce the administration burden of managing HMOs. Balancing growth with responsibility. The future of HMOs will be shaped as much by regulation as by market demand. HMOs remain vital to housing supply, particularly in high-demand urban areas, but success increasingly depends on professionalism and proactive compliance. For landlords, this means approaching HMO investment with a clear understanding of mandatory, additional and selective licensing, budgeting realistically for compliance and management costs, considering professional management or technology-driven solutions, staying ahead of legislative changes, particularly those arising from the Renters' Rights Act. For policymakers, the challenge lies in protecting tenants without undermining investment at a time of acute housing shortage. HMOs continue to play a critical role in the UK's housing ecosystem, but their future will belong to landlords who can balance strong returns with higher standards and regulatory responsibility.